God does many amazing things in everyone's lives. We go through events that have affected our lives and change who we are. I want to share an important experience with you all that changed me significantly in how God has worked in my life. I grew up with a normal family, a mom and a dad with decent jobs, a nice house, 4 siblings, and was involved in sports, youth group, and school with a pretty busy, normal, average life. My world was rocked when I was 12 years old, and my parents told me that they were thinking of moving to Mexico. My world was even more shaken when I moved to Mexico with my family when I was 14. I will be informing you about the transitions of shock, adjustment, and acceptance that I went through in my 4 years of living in Mexico. My first reaction was shock. I was confused and angry with God and my parents for bringing me down there. I struggled with my purpose in life and what I was doing. I missed my friends, my old social life. I had to be homeschooled. I went from going to a huge church all my life to a little church with about 4 kids in the youth group. There was also the language barrier, and I was brought to a completely different culture and a new way of life and surroundings. I had no plumbing for a year and a shower a mile away, no electricity with a generator that had to be used sparingly, and got all of our water from a well. I began to shut myself away from the world and didn't make an effort to enjoy anything. I sulked around feeling sorry for myself, and I didn't mind if everyone knew that I hated it down there. But then I began to adjust. I began making an effort to appreciate my surroundings. I began joining with our ministry and keeping myself busy. I began taking my eyes off myself and focusing them on others. A verse that has really affected me is 1 John 3:16. This is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for others. None of this could have happened if it weren't for God's power working in my life and on my heart. Sooner or later, I found myself in acceptance. I found myself thankful for my life in Mexico. It wasn't perfect, and I certainly didn't enjoy every part of it. But I came to accept that I was where God wanted me to be, and that his will for my life at that time was simply submitting to my parents and supporting their work in ministry. I don't remember when this transition came about. It happened slowly and only through the handiwork of God in my life. Looking back on my 4 years in Mexico, changed my life in so many ways. God has stretched me and made me come out of my comfort zone time and time again. My dad reminds me often, and I just have so much respect for him and my mom, and have grown a lot in my relationship with them and the rest of my family through this. But my dad tells me that Mexico is a prescription for us. We aren't a prescription for Mexico. All of this has contributed much to the ever-growing person that I strive to be today. I hope that through sharing my experiences of shock, adjustment, and acceptance, you have received a bit of insight of who I am and what God has